My name is Peter Bach. I'm the president of eceee, and I would like to welcome you all to this seminar about energy efficiency and demand reduction, Europe's key to deliver on climate agreement. The topic is obvious. Energy efficiency, reduction of energy demand, is a way to secure that Europe deliver each part of the necessary reduction of greenhouse gases to meet the 2-degree target, which were agreed last year in Paris. And now also there has been agreed on in Marrakesh, and all the rules should be in place next year on the next COP. So we have to deliver. And we will look forward now also to see the EU proposals coming next week on energy efficiency, to see that if that will set us on the right directions. So that's just my few introduction remarks. By this, I think I will hand over to Joanne Wade, which are now a member of the eceee board, and she is also involved in our new project on energy sufficiency. And I think, Joanne.
So I just want to say a few opening words about why we've got this theme for this seminar and the project that we're doing, because I'd like you all to be aware of it, and I'd like to know if you're interested in participating in the discussion. So obviously, to meet carbon targets, we need to actually reduce demand for energy. Energy efficiency isn't enough. We need to actually reduce demand. And I think over the last few years, there's been more discussion around energy sufficiency and what we mean by that and how that relates to energy efficiency. We had a few very interesting papers on it at our summer study last year. And we thought, well, this is becoming a more interesting and more important argument, and we'd like to do some work on it. And we were fortunate to get some funding from the KR Foundation to support it. A lot of the discussion around sufficiency can be quite theoretical, but we want to be quite practical. What does it mean for the policymaker? How did they use this concept? And let me give you an example. In many, if not all, countries in Europe, there is a social trend towards wanting more living space per person. Well, and I say wanting, maybe I don't know whether it's wanting or not, is it? Having more living space per person. So there is a discussion and an investigation to be done around this, saying why are people demanding this? What service is it giving them? They're using a lot more energy in the course of having more space per person, but what does it give them? Can they meet their needs and their wants in a different way that would result in lower energy use? That's just one example from the building sector. And then when you've had that discussion, what then does the policymaker do about it? Which is the tricky bit. So we wanted to look at that. And we've got support to look at 5 different areas at the moment. There are lots of things we could look at, but we've chosen 5. We want to look at buildings and energy sufficiency in buildings. We want to look at energy sufficiency in products. What does it mean if you're thinking about products? What does it mean when you're thinking about city planning and mobility? There's lots of issues there, and I think Eve will probably say more about that in a few minutes. How does energy sufficiency link to the circular economy, which is something that everybody's very keen on looking at the moment? And the old chestnut, but that we still need to deal with, energy sufficiency and the rebound effect. And can we, for once and for all, nail this annoying thing that keeps coming up and hitting us in the face whenever we talk about energy efficiency? So we're going to look at those 5. The end result in a couple of years' time will be a series of very practical policy guides that say to policymakers, this is what we've talked about, and here are some things that you can do to help reduce energy use rather than simply improve efficiency. Between now and then, what we're going to do, we're going to commission a series of expert authors to produce some concept papers for discussion to stimulate us all to think about it. Have those peer reviewed by other experts, and then sit around the table in national workshops and discuss it with interested people in a range of countries around Europe. We're going to have more of these seminars here in Brussels to talk about where we've got to and the ideas that are coming out of this process. We will have a discussion session on this topic at our summer study next year, So there's an additional incentive for you all to pitch up to that one. And I hope that by the time we get to our 2019 summer study, we'll be reflecting on what we've learned and what we need to do next in this area. So there's lots going on. I don't really want to say much more at this time because we've got people who've thought about it more than I have here in the room. But all I would say is if any of you are intrigued by this and interested in it, please can you just give me your email before you leave today, and I'll make sure that we keep you in touch so that we know who you are. That's all I want to say. Thank you.